I've completely lost track of how many takes I've done to test the audio and video. And something that's pretty funny is that I had been zooming from across, a small room, but zooming to try to capture, just my upper body, which meant the microphone was far away, which meant the sound wasn't working, and now it's right here, just a foot and a half from my mouth. So I hope that part works better. And then of course the next part, as always, is the didge. And I actually want to share a couple tips so that these audio video tests are actually fun for you guys. Tip number 1, especially for beginners, but sometimes for non-beginners too, when you take a breath in, don't breathe all the way in. So not like this. It creates such an explosive start to your sound. It's like you add extra tension to your whole lung diaphragm area before you start to breathe out, that your body just can't control things as well. So think of filling about 3/4 of the way, or think about filling as gently as you can. Just a normal breath, a normal everyday breath. I know where that tendency comes from. When you first learn, you want to be able to play as long as you can because circular breathing might not be there yet, or might not be as solid. So you want a long sound. You'll be less tired if you take natural breaths. So fill 3/4 full, and then play. So that's tip number 1. The next tip has to do with the mentality you use when approaching circular breathing. So this is for more beginners. Usually your air comes from your lungs, and the pressure you need to make the buzz comes from the diaphragm, which pushes the air from your lungs. So pressure, diaphragm, air, lungs. When you breathe in, that stops. It stops because now your diaphragm is drawing air into the lungs. So we need to find pressure somewhere else, and we need to store air somewhere else, and those are both here up in the mouth. To store air, you have to close your throat. So if I'm blowing out, the air is still coming from my lungs. If I inflate my cheeks, however, now there's air in my cheeks. But if I breathe in, usually what happens is I'll suck the air from my cheeks. We got to close off the mouth to trap air there. So I'm going to close the back of my throat. And now I have air trapped in my cheeks, which I can use to squeeze that air in through the didge for just a moment until I can finish taking a breath and start playing again. So blowing out, filling with air, squeezing, breathing in during the squeeze, and blowing again before the squeeze is done. So the main thing to take away from this right now, aside from my beautiful audio and video, I hope, is the idea of breath and where you store it, and pressure and what's causing it. If you shift your thinking around that, circular breathing is going to come a lot sooner. Thanks so much for watching. As always, I love tips. Wait, I'm giving the tips. You can give tips too. Suggestions, requests, questions, commentary. And I hope to see you next week on the 23rd at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time for my next YouTube live stream. And yes, I'm still working on the online course, but I want to get this audio video thing right before I dive right in. So The outline is already there, the structure is ready to go. It's just a matter of filming some new clips. Thanks so much for watching. Happy playing.